What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at some NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures that were released for the Target Haulathon. So today we have two figures that are like box-wise and everything designed to go with the cartoon, although neither of these figures appeared in the cartoon, so it's kind of weird that they went with that design. But first off, we have Dark Leo, which I did notice nowhere on his box at all does it say Dark Leo, but that's what just the figure's called. And this is actually based more off the more modern day comics, and I'll go into more of that story. But it's kind of a thing where Michelangelo sees his three brothers if they were living a life without Michelangelo, and they're all bad, a part of the Foot Clan. So we have the dark version there, but we get the box design, like I said, based off like the cartoon designs we have. We have Leonardo there with the two other brothers there in the background with the foot soldier mask on, so it looks good. We get a little piece to go with like a lenticular image for our portal there, so that'll be cool. And then we have the figure posed up and the figure itself, so it looks cool. Comes with some cool accessories, like I said, that foot mask to put on him as well, so that all looks really cool for the Dark Leo. And then we've got Panda Khan, which was released in the original toy line, but never made it into the cartoon. I think it was planned to, but never did. But just a big giant samurai panda, looks good again with the box design. It actually says Panda Khan on it, and there we get a little bit of his story there on the back. But spinning back around, we can see the figure posed up and the figure itself again with all the cool accessories he'll come with. So just another big anthropomorphic animal of a panda this time to look at, so I'm excited to check him out as well. So I'm excited for both of these figures, so let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're starting off with the Dark Leo, which was based off the IDW TMNT Saturday Morning Adventures number 20 comic, where we see that a genie shows Michelangelo a world where he never existed, so his three brothers are dark, sinister versions of themselves that were all now part of the Foot Clan. So that's what Dark Leo is here, and again, all the turtles look pretty much the same like this, you know, wearing like the leather straps with the studs on them, so we get the spiky studs and just spikes all over them, so they pretty much wear the same sort of outfit designs, so we could easily get Donatello and Raphael with the same sort of design. But Leo looks cool here. You can tell it's Leo because it does have some of the blue design, and then you can really tell with like his belt design, he has the spots here for the swords in the back, so that's how you really tell. Otherwise, besides, you know, if he didn't wear the blue, it could be any of the other two turtles, but looks good overall. So we get a face covering here, so he just has like a bandana on this that covers up his face, so we just get his eyes there. Looks pretty cool though, still with the ties in the back for that bandana. Then we get his turtle body, so still the mostly green body. It's in the more darker colors we get now. Has a little foot like tattoo almost there on his shoulder, arms wrapped up with some armor, so almost have like Shredder like armor up on his shoulder and on his forearm there, and on the knees as well, just more spikes instead of the little claw pieces. Then he has this additional attachment that has an accessory that it keeps falling off, so I will show you that, but it's like a little missile launcher or whatever. Again, those straps going around like they normally have, just with the studded leather now to the holder there in the back, as well as a chain addition, so you gotta have the chain attached on there to hold his wallet. Then we have a big spike strap here at the top of his leg, wrapped up legs once again with that armor I showed you, all the way down to the toes, so there's some wrapping there around the toes. So overall it does look pretty cool. Of course, it's just another turtle for NECA, so nothing real surprising is going to go on here, but it just has a different cool look to it. Now, movement-wise, the head will twist around. Now, I'm not sure if it will twist all the way around because the bandana, I guess it will get out of the way there, kind of force it to go all the way around there. And, of course, it can look down a little and up a little, so just very little movements in the head. That bandana piece does twist around as well, so that'll twist around there. Then we get the shoulders. Now, of course, with this shoulder armor, it doesn't really allow for any movement, so we have to go to this side to get the shoulder up at all, and that's about as far as I'm comfortable with going. It's real tight once you start getting up too far, and it'll rotate all the way around, at least mostly around in there. We do get a bicep twist and the double elbow, which again is a little stiff on these figures, so mid up there about that far, which is pretty good. Then we get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and flex back and forth, again real stiff and deep down in the joint there, so you don't get a whole lot of flexing with it. Then we can go to like the ab crunch, which is mostly just at the waist, a little bit of crunching back and forth, and the legs will like twist around in there, but the hips will come up if you go out to the side, especially there that far, not all the way up. I guess if you kind of force it, can get closer to 90 there, and out to the side. We get a thigh twist up in there, the double knee joint that'll probably be stiff again, and it has that double knee joint. Yeah, the bottom was really stiff, but you can get there, bend up at least that far to the back, almost kicking himself in the shell. And then we go down to the foot, that'll rock back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent movements. Of course, they're stiff. It's the neck figures. We did heat them up, but you know, they're still tightened up again. And then of course, having the spikes all over him doesn't make it easy to move either, because it's just constantly getting poked in the fingers and stuff. But I do really like the look of him overall. Now, accessory wise, he does come with an additional head, so we do get this mask of a foot soldier that we can put on. So it's got the big big turtle shaped head and stuff. Of course, the purple mask with the little red foot on and stuff for the foot. So that's cool. But of course, from the back of the box, as you saw, that the other turtles did have him on while he just had this outfit on. So we can go and bring in another turtle. So we got like the Donatello here that we normally show off. So we can put this head on it. Let's see if I can get him on it. So there's the masked Donatello. So again, we could get another one of these and put it on the Raphael to recreate what it showed on the back. But each of the turtles technically should be wearing them. But there you can see what it looks like with that additional mask piece. Or of course, we could just go and put it on Leo, but we'll just leave him with what he's got. Then we get some additional hands. So we get some, like, I want to say action hands. So we get like a wide grip hand. I don't know what you use because none of the accessories he'd be able to like hold with that. And then this one that's almost got like a trigger finger. So again, just hands you could use for whatever you want. But for Leonardo, we gotta have hands to hold his swords or the katanas. So we get the hands for that. And these have up and down hinges, which will be nice. So let's switch these hands out. So with those hands, we can give him weapons, but first I'll go and add that additional attachment. Like I said, it's like a little missile or something that goes onto his arm, but it keeps falling off. I don't know if we want to glue it on or just kind of leave it so it can be taken off, but he just has this additional thing. It almost looks like an eye with that design, but yeah, whatever it is, it kind of looks like a missile hanging off his arm there. You can do that, but we'll go and give him his sword. So he comes with the two katanas as usual. Nice color for them, almost like a really light gray, almost white. And again, there's the slots on the back, so we can like store them in if we want. So stick those down inside there, but we'll go and put them into his hands. And there's Leo with his two swords, so that looks cool. And he also comes with like this mace-like weapon as well. So we get the big square design with all the pieces coming out of it and handle there. Of course, he can use it as a mace, so that is really cool. And our final accessory is the lenticular screen for our portal. So we had the portal there before. So there we have Dark Leo and the other turtles there in the background. And you see the sort of lenticular design of that. So we can bring in our portal. So we have our portal here, and we can just pop this screen in it. So just like that, so we can have the portal now. So we can almost have the Dark Leo coming out of the portal there to sort of match with it, because you can have it there where it shows him, or there where he's disappeared. Now he's like coming out of the portal there. So that can be pretty cool, and overall a pretty nice design. Really like the Dark Leo. It's just different and unique, you know, not the exact same turtles we've had multiple times over and over. And I like that it comes with the additional head we can put on this, or like I said, on the other turtles like we did with the Donnie there. But I think overall that just looks really cool for the Dark Leo. And then we also have Panda Khan, whose real name is Li Yang. Now, he was an anthropomorphic panda that is the friend and ally of the Ninja Turtles and Usagi Yojimbo. And he's from the Mirage comic series, but was supposed to appear in the original cartoon, but never made it. And as I mentioned at the beginning, he did get a figure released in the original Playmates toy line. So he looks pretty cool here. So it's just like a big samurai panda, so it looks nice with his face. Love how he has like this angry face design. Nice little panda ears there in black, black around the eyes, black nose and stuff, and white fur everywhere else. He's got the bandana around his head, so that's pretty nice. We get the tails there in the back. Then we get his outfit, so again, more samurai style outfit. So we get like this purple vest over the top of what I assume to be a gi-like outfit. So we get the nice shirt design, you know, with the cross there with the white, but it's the light blue color overall with the long sleeves coming down. He has armor that again, that looks like samurai plating armor. So they're on his forearms, on the back of his hands, up on his shoulders, and on his shins there as well. So also like the armor like coming around like a skirt design there around his waist with the red sash tied around it there as well. But green pants all the way down to his bare feet, where he has 3 toes this time. So in like the turtles 2 toes, he has 3 toes there with the like little slipper like designs on. So overall looks pretty nice, and he is a big figure, so especially when we bring that Leo back in, you'll see how tall he is compared to the turtles. But overall just looks nice with the design. Now, movement-wise, the head will twist all the way around. He can look down that far and up that far, so decent movements there with the head. We get the shoulders that'll come up, of course, with the armor kind of gets in the way, but it can come up pretty close to 90 and rotate around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that'll bend up that far, so not bad at all. We get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and should hinge back and forth there. There can move a little. Then we go to the movement of the waist, so should be able to, yeah, it doesn't really crunch, just a little movement, and twist just a little side to side as well. Then the hips will come up. We can get them that far up, so maybe 45 and out to the side there. A little bit of a thigh twist and the single knee joint. That's pretty stiff, but will bend back at least that far, pretty close to 90 with the rotation, of course, in that knee joint. And then down to the foot, we'll rock back and forth and twist side to side. And there's like an ankle twist in there, so we'll twist around as well. So pretty decent movements. Seems a little bit better than that Dark Leo had, but overall still works out nicely. Still not the best movements, but works out good for what he's got. Now for accessories, he does come with an additional head, which I kind of like, a more stoic face, and I love how he has almost like the little ponytail or whatever there at the top as well. Just a little more stoic. Let's see if we can switch that. So there's that head on. Like I said, I think I like that a little bit more, so I'll probably just leave that. Then we also get some other accessories. So we do get a hat we can put on him. So we get a bamboo hat here, so it looks pretty nice with the design. You can see it's got a square in there, because with the top of his head actually comes off, so you can do that. And now we can put the head on. I'm not sure which way the direction needs to go. There, that seems to work. So now that sits down on his head and you get the strap under his chin there. So now he can be wearing the hat. So that just adds more to his design, and I do like that. He also comes with a bag. So he has this big bag or basket, whatever you want to call it. And it does open, so you can store stuff down inside there. So it's open inside. So that's pretty nice. And we get the straps that we can put around him. I don't know how easy this will be to get on him though. So there's that basket on him. Was not hard at all to get on. They left plenty of room in the straps and stuff to be able to get that on around him. So there he's got the basket on the back now as well, which is cool. Then you of course get a bunch of hand accessories. So we get a set of grip hands here that have the normal like moving back and forth hands. Then we get another set of grip hands, but this time they have the up and down hinges, so you can get those different options. Then we also have a set of more open hands. So there he's got 4 fingers with his hands. Then going to weapons, first we get a set of claws. So nice little claws here we could put on his fingers. So he has those that he could tear people up with, as well as his sword known as the Morning Key. So it looks pretty nice. Nice big blade there. Love that. It's got the yin yang logo and stuff. So that looks really cool. So I want to put this into his hand. So there's Panda Khan with the weapons. So I gave him the sword as well as one of the claws in his hands there. So that looks really cool. So we have him mostly all kitted out there, and I really like that design. Think he looks awesome for Panda Khan. So overall, really nice design. Love the look of it. Again, as usual with all the NECAs, wish the joints were easier to move and everything, but it just looks really cool, and love those awesome accessories he came with. So there, if we want, we can have a face-off between Panda Khan and Dark Leo. And again, you can see just how big Panda Khan is compared to Dark Leo. Again, the turtles are always short, so but they're kind of like our standard figure size for the NECAs there. So you can just see that size difference, which is just how big Panda Khan is. But both of these figures look really cool. Like them both a lot. Nice additions to the collection. I just hope we get more of the Dark Turtles as well. But overall, really nice figures that I like adding to the collection. So let me know what you thought of these two down in the comments. And if you enjoyed my review, let me know what that like. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.